Micdup.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes. Tonight, we're going to do a bit of a roundtable. We're going to go off the normal format. We're going to talk about each National League Baseball team and who we think the face of that team is. And we're going to take it one step further. We'll do a face of the team, and then we'll do a present-day face of the team. So pick an active player on the team that you think of when you hear that team's name.
So you're
So-
saying an all-time face of the team, and then
Yep.
a modern era. Got it. Okay.
Got
It
it.
could be one and the same.
It could be one and the same, and that's up to you. So we'll go. Each of us will take a guess or a gander at each of the eras, and then we'll come to some kind of consensus. And of course, it will be written on tablets and shared with the rest of the country, because our opinion is all that matters here, right?
Yeah.
Low life. Thanks for joining us again. This is a great show to jump on and give us your comments. If for those of you watching us live, go down to the bottom of the screen and there's a microphone. Tap on that and you can leave a 30-second comment, and we will play it live on the air. If you've got more than that to say, our friend JC has left us 5 or 6 messages here, so that's okay. Just know you got 30 seconds, and we'll play them on the air, and we'll come to some kind of consensus here. Again, thanks for joining us, and let's get rolling. Huh? Let's talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks. So
Oh,
the
you want to go to one of the
Diamondbacks
hard
are,
ones first.
yeah, the Diamondbacks are a modern-day expansion team. Started playing in 1998. So we only have 27 years of history to help us define who the Diamondbacks' face of the team is. So let's start off with the all-time face of the team. Robbie, who comes to mind when you think Arizona Diamondbacks?
I would have to say, I mean, considering the World Championship that one year, 2001, Luis Gonzalez, right? Great player for them for quite a while, and with that little squibber hit over the drawn-in infield in the World Series, he brought home a championship. So I kind of feel like he's their iconic player at this point.
Okay. Chuck, what do you think?
I've got to go with 4-time Cy Young winner Randy Johnson.
Yeah, I agree.
That's he's pretty much the face of that franchise. Always was, at least. So
Yeah.
he ended up, elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who else killed a bird in midair?
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
I think he was a Mariner when he did that, wasn't he?
It's still,
For them.
you gotta be the face of something if you did that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had Randy Johnson down as the guy I always think of when we talk about the Diamondbacks. The only other guys I would, Robbie's is right. Luis Gonzalez is forever immortalized by that blooper he hit over the infield. Kurt Schilling, maybe, but those guys are the only ones I was really thinking about. All right, now modern day, we are Giants fans here, but we get to see the Diamondbacks a lot. Robbie, who's the face of the team today?
Well, as much as I want to say Jake McCarthy, I would have to say it's Ketel Marte, the second baseman all-star. I think he's the kind of the guy that everybody on that team feeds off of. And even though he's been hurt, he's been with the team the whole time. And yeah, I think he's probably the guy.
I agree. You love
I
to hate him.
agree. Yep.
Yep. Again, I think we have a unanimous pick on Marte there. The only other guy that comes to mind for me is Corbin Carroll. The new guy, the up and comer that's leading off and hitting homers and stealing bases. I think if we ask this question again in a couple of years, it'll probably be him.
Yeah,
So-
and he may become the all-time face of the franchise at some point.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Corbin Burnson.
Corbin, yes, from L.A. Law. And Roger Dorn.
Roger Dorn.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. We got one of the expansion teams out of the way. Let's do another one. The Colorado Rockies are also an expansion team, but they've been around a little bit longer. 1993 was their first season. Let's see, Terry, who do you think of when you think Colorado Rockies?
My first person I would go to or player is Todd Helton. He's
Yeah.
the obvious pick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're really we'll get into other teams that will be less obvious and we can talk about it, but the Rockies are so new also. Todd Helton.
Yeah.
Same
Yep.
with Arizona.
Chuck, what do you got?
I got the same thing, Todd Helton. I've got a more modern player, but I'll save that for our wrap up on that piece.
Yeah. Rob?
Todd Helton.
Okay.
I mean, it's maybe Tulowitzki, but it's Todd Helton. There's no question.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. I had Helton as my number one pick, but I did have Larry Walker on there too. Both guys are in the Hall of Fame. You could say Walker was, for work he did elsewhere, but he had some great years in Colorado. So
yeah, I just don't. I don't feel like he was. I mean, Todd Helton came up in the organization and all.
Yep.
I mean, he's the face of the franchise.
Oh, franchise guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Now this might be the most difficult question for you guys: is who is the current day face of the Colorado Rockies? Who may be one of the worst teams in the history of the major leagues? You want to pass?
Well, does
I
it
got
count if,
he doesn't play for the Rockies anymore. But
Yeah.
Who's that?
Nolan Arenado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love to hate that guy too.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's not on the team. Hasn't been there for 3 or 4 years now.
But
But modern era. All right.
I think I'd go with Charlie Blackmon.
Who's also not on the team.
He just retired last year.
Yeah, but that's a good one now.
we're talking modern era.
Well, we said present day, but okay.
I mean, Yerman Marquez is the longest tenured Rocky.
Yes. I would give you guys $100 each. Well, not you, Robbie, but the other two guys, $100 each if you can name 5 Rockies.
Yeah.
I can't. That's why we didn't.
All right.
Charlie Blackmon is a good guy.
He retired last year, so it's as close as we're going to get, I think.
All right. I'm going to go in with you guys. We'll say Charlie Blackmon. All right. All right. Let's do something a little bit more difficult. Let's take the storied Dodger franchise, and in this case, we're talking about the Brooklyn Dodgers and the LA Dodgers. So this franchise has been around 4 years, and there are many, many Hall of Famers, many, many guys who made their names in LA. But who do you think of when you hear the term Dodgers?
Can I throw this out first?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I know this is going to be covered with hate. Vin Scully. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
Interesting twist.
Yeah, I was going to say Tommy Lasorda.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good twist.
Oh, hell with that.
Robbie, did you pick a player?
Yeah, I picked a player, Jackie Robinson.
Yes, that's who I got.
That's,
I mean, all is a great player, and then all
Absolutely.
told with what he did during and after his career for other black players coming up, it's hard for me to pick anybody else.
Absolutely.
You can
Yeah.
make an argument for Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, I think you could too. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
expecting somebody to say him.
Yeah.
And then
And,
modern era.
and
you
then
know.
and then Don Drysdale, another guy, Roy Campanella,
Duke Snyder, Zach
Duke Snyder.
Wheat.
Yep. The list goes on because they've been around for so long.
Yeah.
Lots of
Well,
Brooklyn Dodgers that were in tons of World Series and All-Star games. But mine was Jackie Robinson as well.
yeah.
All right. So when you think Dodgers today, Terry, who do you come up with?
Of all of them, I really love to watch Fernando Valenzuela.
Okay, so you're not going to do present day. All right.
Well, I mean that's
Did you check your watch, Terry?
balance. I mean,
I think
we're talking
Valenzuela was last year.
You're talking
Last
about
in the
Sandy
major league was
Koufax.
like 30 years ago.
You're talking Sandy Koufax, Jackie Robinson. Those are the old time guys. Fernando is in the 90s, right? Late 80s and the 90s. That's pretty.
So today, present day.
Okay, screw you, Clayton Kershaw.
You were still a
Clayton
teenager in the
Kershaw.
80s.
There you go.
That's
Kershaw,
my modern day. That's
Kershaw.
That's the
from
guy.
2000 and newer, younger. But
Yeah.
the middle.
Mhm.
The Dodgers are so old, like you said. There's got to be some middle ground, and Fernando Valenzuela was someone I used to watch.
Okay.
That's
I loved his delivery
know
too.
So
You love to
when
emulate his
we're
arms.
doing these, unless it's the Rocky, let's try to get somebody that's present day as the face of the team. Chuck, what do you got?
I just want to say I love it when Terry's having a good time, but he's still a little bit pissed at the same time.
You couldn't tell by the grimace on his face.
Got a little itch right here.
It's really one of my favorite things in the world.
Well, modern era, I was going to say Clayton Kershaw too, but as far as who now, today, shit, I don't know. I really don't care, to be honest with you.
It's a team full of Hollywood all-stars.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You barely redeemed yourself.
All right. So
I'd have to go with, the pitcher hitter. Forgot his name.
Ohtani.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Ohtani.
I think he's just a little too young to be on this list. He's no doubt he's great, and he's gonna win all the awards.
Well, that's not actually the question. The question is, who is the face of the Dodgers today?
But he's the one putting butts in the seats for sure.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. So
he's got the highest contract in the history of baseball by far. So
he's selling the most merchandise here and in Japan.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Robbie.
They even
who were you
their
thinking?
spring training caps look like the dragons from Japan.
Yep.
That's how
Robbie,
much
who'd you get?
I wasn't thinking in terms of Kershaw, but now that you guys said it, I mean, he's coming back in a week or two, before the end of the month anyway. He's probably the guy. I don't know why I was leaning more towards Freddie Freeman, just because when he's wearing the Dodger white home uniform, he just looks like a Dodger.
Yeah, yeah.
He just has that clean cut, stupid Dodger look. So.
Well, I had Ohtani down. I didn't think there was anybody that could compete with him present day as to why do most people go to that ballpark?
Yeah. Well, that statistic, pitchers with the most home runs. Is that what you sent out the other day?
Oh yeah.
Was he like 320 already, something like that?
even though he hasn't pitched in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Repeat that statistic for the viewers.
If the graphic was who has the most home runs amongst active pitchers, and Ohtani has 219 or something like that.
Yeah.
And the next pitcher,
the next guy is Michael Lorenzen with 7.
Yeah.
Of course, most pitchers don't bat, but okay,
That's true.
Lorenzen's actually played a few games in the outfield, and I think that's where half his home runs came from. So
You could bring that back to when Ohtani, when all the before the designated hitter came into the National League, and he'd still blow everybody away.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that.
Except for one, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's move on.
We're talking players that are playing. current.
Oh, now you're with the program.
Let's move on to another National League West team, the San Diego Padres, who came into existence in 1969. So there's a lot of history there, but this might be tough. Who's the guy that defines the Padres for you?
It's not tough.
No, not tough
All
at
right.
all.
Not at all.
That's pretty easy, actually.
So you guys are going to go with Tony Gwynn Jr.?
Yep.
Tony
Yeah.
Gwynn Jr. I was thinking
Cass-
Bill Allman.
Cass and I went to the game last Wednesday, and we walked around like we normally do when the boys go out and walk around stadiums. We went to their Hall of Fame in center field or left field, and Cass says, "Look at that! Tony Gwynn is on every frickin' list, every list except for one, I think."
Right.
He's broken every record that they have. I mean, he's a great player.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's a longtime Padre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name's all over the stadium there.
I'm not sure they had a face of the franchise before he came along.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you ask the folks in San Diego, they we used to go down there before Gwynn would play, before Gwynn was on the roster, and the guy everybody knew was Randy Jones, the pitcher from the 70s. And Randy Jones was one of the greatest pitchers in the National League for about 3 or 4 years. But the reason he's popular is he runs a restaurant inside the stadium. So everybody knows him. He walks around and says hi to everybody.
All right. We were looking for a grilled hot dog, a bratwurst. We looked it up online, and it said Bob Jones Barbecue. Second
Randy
guy,
Jones.
Randy Jones Barbecue. We could not find it. Could not.
Oh.
Find it. We were bummed, but we did get the grilled bacon wrap jumbo dog. That was pretty incredible.
All right, now I'm asking you the same question of the modern day Padres, the players that are on the team today. Who is the face of that team?
Tatis.
I have Tatis Jr.
Yeah, definitely.
He's the most familiar.
All right, Robbie, what do you got?
Yeah, Tatis. It's got to be.
And he's a great player.
Yeah, you could argue the only other guy that might be in that echelon is Machado, but we all hate him, so we'll go with Tatis.
You love to hate him. They even have a thing on the billboard. If he makes a great play, they go, "You got Machado'd."
God.
All right, let's finish up our National League West division with what I think is the majority of our favorite team, the San Francisco Giants, who were also the New York Giants prior to that. Who is the face of the Giants? Chuck?
It's got to be Willie Mays, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we have too much argument on that one. I mean, there's lots of iconic players from the past: McCovey, Perry, Marshall, but we all think of Willie Mays almost automatically.
Yeah.
Greatest player of all time. He's got to be the greatest player in your franchise.
Sure.
And then we had our fun World Series run, and we saw players like Posey and Lincecum become huge, and Bumgarner. But if you think about the Giants today, if you're marketing the Giants on a road trip, who's the player on the Giants that everybody's looking forward to seeing?
Jung-Hoo Lee right now.
Yeah,
I mean, if
I
you're
would say
going
that.
just based on this season, it's Jung-Hoo Lee.
Mhm.
Chuck, you agree?
I will agree with that. Yeah,
Fair?
absolutely.
Say it again. I couldn't hear that.
Who is
I know.
Jung-Hoo
Who was
Lee
the
is
name?
what they're saying.
What was the
Who
name?
is the player that teams in other cities are marketing for the San Francisco Giants?
And what was the name? The player?
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Are you trying to get
Oh,
us to
yeah,
say
yeah,
Lee
yeah.
over and over again?
Yeah, I think he is.
Sorry, you guys don't speak my language.
Well,
yeah, I mean that guy's a firecracker. He's so fun to watch.
he
He
is.
has
He is.
Chicago fans. He has Chicago fans cheering for him in this last series.
Yeah.
He's got style.
I think if you look at who is getting marketed on the Giants in other cities, it's Willie Adames,
Sure.
who I think at the end of the year he's going to have the stats that everybody's looking for. Maybe
Yeah.
him and Matt Chapman would be the guys that, oh hey, the Giants are coming to town. These are the guys that
Yeah.
we want you to see.
And they're warming up too. Those two.
Yeah.
They're starting to be kind of dependable.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
well, Adames is his Aprils. He's like a 180 hitter in April for his career.
Yeah.
So he did that here.
He's a shortstop. I mean,
He's
we don't
right on
expect
schedule.
him to hit.
Yep. All right, so we concluded the National League West. Why don't we
do early before even Willie Mays? I would say Mel Ott is very famous. And New York people would really be familiar with him.
All right. Let's take a break. Rob, tell us a little bit about our sponsor.
Well, it's my favorite segment of the show, What You Drinking? And we continue to be sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Beer Company in Alameda, California. They are, and again, it's not just because they sponsor us, they really are one of America's leading craft brewers. Great diversity and selection of beers. They're all outstanding. By the way, Rob, I've got you some Plum Sour Nova coming your way.
Oh,
so
I can't wait.
I can't wait to hear. It's the newest spring release for the Sour Nova line, so I can't wait to hear your opinion of it. But anyway, this is the point in the show we all stop and talk about the different beers from Almanac we're drinking. And tonight I'm still in the lager series, the Buenas Vibras Mexican style lager. This is a perfect porch pounder for this time of year. Absolutely delicious. And borrowing from an old slogan, it's the one beer to have when you're having more than one. What are you guys drinking?
Gary.
I'm just reading the label. I'm drinking The Future is Fluid. It's a West Coast IPA, and it is dank, it's lush, and it's bold. But this beer is created by the women of Almanac in support of the Pink Boots Society, a nonprofit that creates training and educational opportunities for women working in the craft beer industry. Visit pinkbootsociety.org. That's cool.
Very cool.
So how about that? Future is Fluid by Almanac. How about you?
What do you got, Chuck?
I'm drinking the One Love. You got to help me out here, Robbie. Is that Grill?
One Love, like 8 Trill.
RILL.
8 Trill.
No. I think he's right. I think it's One Love Grill.
Okay, let's just go with One Love Grill.
All up in your grill right there. West Coast IPA. It's delicious. It says 70% alcohol on there. So that's good.
Yeah, mine says 60.
Very tasty.
Oh, cheers. By the way, if you get the right can, it comes with a free sticker.
All right.
Check out the stripes, Robbie, compared to yours. They're like the opposite stripes. Green, yellow, red. Yours was red, yellow, green, wasn't it?
Well, mine, it's a Mexican lager, so it's kind of the...
Yeah. See?
Ooh.
It looks like
that. I noticed that.
Looks like a Mexican sunset.
I noticed crap like that.
It drinks like a Mexican sunset.
Yeah.
All right. I am also drinking the Future is Fluid Tear. However, if I were marketing a beer, I would not choose dank as something to describe the high quality of the beer. I'm just saying to the folks at Almanac, maybe choose another descriptor.
Yeah.
This is
Like
an awesome
swamp
beer.
bath would probably be better than dank.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I'm really enjoying this. This is relatively new, Rob. I think didn't this come out about a year ago?
It's an annual release. They do it once a year, so it
Okay.
comes out in the first part of the year, or
It's
early part of
delicious.
spring, I should say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I really
this is-
like it.
So that's what annual means.
So it blends. The blend changes from year to year. The recipe changes a little bit, so it has some variation. But yeah, it's cool. Hey, we got a
All
what you drinking phone call too.
What you drinking? I've been hoarding an Almanac True Kolsch
Oh,
because it's going out of style. They're making the True Lager now. But a True Kolsch is always nice on a hot day in the valley, thinking about baseball and enjoying the weather.
Nice.
I got good news for JC. They're going to make a summertime release every year of a Kolsch.
Oh, very nice.
So when it comes out, load up.
Yeah, that's his favorite. He'll go 6-8 cans into that in a hour.
and Chuck, that's annual.
All right. Well, we just want to thank one more time Almanac. Thank you very much, Almanac. We enjoy your beers. If you're in the Alameda area, or even if you're not, and you can make a trip there, I highly suggest stop by the brewery. It's a fantastic place to go. They have a great malting place next door where they actually buy all their malts for their beers, and you can actually see the malts being stirred and prepared for use in a beer. So Almanac Brewing, Alameda, California. Stop by there. Tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlifes show, and they may take pity upon you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right,
Almanac.
gentlemen, we are going to have to kick it into gear if we want to hold this show on schedule. So I'm going to be a taskmaster. We're going to go with the National League East. We're going to start with the Chicago Cubs, my favorite team. Who is the face of the Chicago Cubs, Robbie?
There can only be one.
Mhm.
I mean, there's probably more you could say, but come on, it's Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub. Mr. Cub. It's in the name.
It's in the name. Yeah. Yeah. Chuck, what do you got?
Oh boy. Somehow I'm missing the Cubs from my list.
Well, do you like Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, as your backup pick?
Well, no, I'll go with the backup pick of Andre Dawson.
Oh, okay. All right.
I thought, oh, wait, Terry's not done yet.
Well, I just I have Ernie Banks, but he's an veteran, older guy.
Yes, he's the face of the team
The face
from
of the
the
team.
past.
The Willie Mays of the Cubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we haven't gotten to the present day ones yet. We're just doing the who do you think of when you think of the Chicago Cubs? And I think Ernie Banks is a good choice.
Well, he
Yeah.
does have a statue in center field,
Yeah,
outside of center field.
Mhm.
I thought it was in center field.
So there was
I don't have an older player, veteran player.
well.
I was looking. I mean, I see Cubs in Cooperstown.
Yep. So
I thought somebody
Still
might
pretty
say
young.
Sandberg, but it's Ernie
yeah,
Banks.
there's lots of Cubs Hall of Famers to think of, like Fergie Jenkins and Ron Santo and Ryan Sandberg, as Robbie said.
Is Fergie Jenkins? Is he did he go in the Hall of Fame with the Cubs for being?
I'm sure he did. Yeah.
God, he's a great guy.
Yeah. All right, so let's
Billy
move
Williams.
on to modern day Cubs. Today's team. Who do you think of when the Cubs are coming to town? Who is the guy that you want to go see? Who's considered the face of the team today? Robbie.
It's got to be Kyle Tucker at this point, right? I mean, he's been a great free agent signing, and he's pounding out the numbers and playing hard. They seem to like him there. Whether
Yeah,
they'll keep him or not is a different question, but
they seem to be positioning him to be around for the next 10 years.
right. Yeah.
Chuck, what do you got?
Suzuki.
Ah,
He's looking
Yeah.
good pick.
Yeah, a lot of people come to the ballpark to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he may be
Suzuki.
having his best year ever this year. So. Tara, what do you got?
Well worth $14.
Well, on with my Vin Scully choice. Let's hear it, Joel.
Oh, you're talking about Harry Carey, I think.
Harry. Yeah.
All right.
Holy
All right.
cow.
So I'm
And we
thinking
saw the holy
current
cow in
day
the restaurant.
current day ball player with the Cubs. Not an old timer.
I think Suzuki also.
We're gonna have to go over the directions again. All right, Suzuki for you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Suzuki's the guy that everybody comes to see, but a year from now it'll probably be Tucker. So, yeah. All right.
Well, Suzuki will go to the Giants.
Yeah, could be.
He's gonna.
All right.
He's gonna want to.
Cincinnati Reds, who have a very storied past. Lots of big players on there, big red machine guys, present day guys that are, pretty damn good ball players as well. But who do you think of when you think Cincinnati Reds?
Hey, wait a second. We have a very relevant call in about the Cubs.
What about Pete Crow Armstrong for the Cubs?
Yeah, he's not wrong. It could be Pete.
Yep.
I mean, all the teenage girls are thinking that. Yeah.
He looks like Ralph Mouth.
All right. Chuck, who's your Cincinnati Reds guy?
Well, you got to go with Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. I would think.
Okay.
He might have been knocked down a peg by some bad decisions, but I do have another one as a backup. But I always liked Pete Rose. I just like the way he hustled.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Tara, what do you got?
Well, I have Johnny Bench as the obvious choice. How about Joe Morgan?
Yep, both of those guys would be good picks.
Hall of Famer, second baseman, right? Yeah, that's who I'd say. Joe Morgan.
All right, Robbie.
Also because I met him.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say Tony Perez, but it's Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
It's Johnny Bench.
See, the other reason I kind of dismissed Rose and Perez and Morgan and some of those guys is all of those guys left and went to play with other teams for many years afterwards. But Johnny Bench was a Cincinnati Red and was always a Cincinnati Red.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they never dumped him, traded him off, or had to finish his career in Seattle or something like that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
He
was second on my list. I stand overruled.
Now,
Joey
present
Votto
day.
stay with the
present day. Terry said Joey Votto.
Joey Votto's he's since retired, but that would not have been a bad pick. Yeah,
he's close enough.
Yeah, I would say that too. Yeah.
So your present day guys, what do you think?
I'm Ellie De La Cruz, right? I mean, he's electric. His strikeouts are amazing to watch. A full swing strike three from that guy is incredible.
It is. It is.
He fails spectacularly. He succeeds spectacularly. He's awesome.
When he hits the ball, it makes a different sound than other players.
Yeah.
So him and O'Neal Cruz, who we'll probably talk about later, they are ranked as the 1 and 2 guys for balls coming off the bat at the highest speed. It's up 115 miles per hour or something weird like that. So, yep.
Yeah, they turn up the gun for those guys though.
So Terry, is that your present day guy, or you're going to go with Joey Votto?
Oh no, that's no. I'm gonna stay with whoever I just said.
The future is fluid.
Ellie.
No, I see
All
Johnny
right.
Cueto. I see Johnny Cueto on there too on this list.
Yep,
But
Johnny Cueto
he's
would be
bounced around quite a bit.
he would be a good old timer to put up there, but yeah,
Most
it
of
would
our-
be yeah.
Most
So let's
pitchers
move
do.
on as we're eating up time here. Milwaukee Brewers. They are an expansion team. If you consider they came into the majors as the Seattle Pilots in 1969 and lasted 1 year there, and then became the Brewers. They've been around for a while now. Won a world championship in 78? Am I right? Something like that. Lots of big time brewers over the years. Chuck, who's your Milwaukee brewer that you think of?
The one I think of is Robin Yount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spent his whole career there too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yep.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Is
think
that
there's
what-
any argument on that one.
Yeah. Is that what you got, Ter?
Yes, Paul. I
Okay.
mean Robin Yount. Paul
Yeah,
Molitor.
Paul Molitor would be
Second
Uh,
on the
He
up on that list as
he
well.
played the majority of his career. He's pretty famous for being a brewer.
Yep.
Yeah.
3,000 hit club. Oh.
Yeah. I think it's one of those two guys. Now today, who do you think of as the face of the Milwaukee Brewers today? Who do you go see because it's the Brewers and they're coming to town? Robbie, what do you got?
Jackson Churio.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy they signed him to a 9-year contract, 7-year
Yeah.
contract last year before he had ever played a game in the major leagues. I mean,
Yeah.
they invested in him to make him the face of the franchise, and he's delivered. That's the guy,
Yeah.
Jackson Churio.
I agree. Chuck, you got anybody on the team today that's the guy you want to go see?
Oh, I like Christian Yelich.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fun to
Yep.
watch.
Mhm.
But I agree that Churio is the better player more than likely.
Mhm.
And also a wonderful ballpark snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Tara, what do you got? Anybody other than those two?
In the mid 2000s, I have Prince Fielder, but we're not talking about that era.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people thought of him. Unfortunately, his career ended way too soon. But he would have
Yeah,
he would have been
he only
putting up
played
some
for
monster numbers.
He only played for 6 years, according to this, and he was a big name. He's a big
Yep.
name.
So Churio, I think the Brewers protected themselves in a small market. They gave him a whole bunch of money up front so that he wouldn't want a whole bunch of money on the back end of a contract. So
Right.
they expect him to be there for a while. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
What about Yelich? Christian Yelich.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
Chuck brought him
MVP.
up already. So he's a good
MVP
pick.
in 2018.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Another very storied franchise, been around for decades and decades. When you think Pittsburgh Pirates, Chuck, who is the face of that team?
Oh man, I was struggling between two guys,
Uh-huh.
Honus Wagner and Roberto Clemente.
Those guys are
Kind of
pretty good ball players.
different eras. But,
Yeah.
huh? What? Well, they were
Those
different
guys are-
eras, but they
They're
were,
pretty good ball players. Yeah.
yeah.
So I can't argue with either of those picks. Tara, what do you got?
Oh, I've got the local Alameda boy, Willie Stargell.
Yeah, there was a third guy on the list. Yeah.
Great pick.
There was a period of time when everything revolved around Pop Stargell and the We Are Family team. So yeah, a lot of people think, yep, it's the Pirates. It's got to be Stargell. Robbie?
Well, I'm biased and I've talked about it many, many times on the show. My favorite non-giant of all time, was always Roberto Clemente, because as a kid, he just was different. It was so fun to watch the game, the way he played, the way he ran. Everything about him was just more animated than everybody else. I always loved that guy. And plus, when I found out that Roberto was Rob in Spanish, that like as like a as a 5-year-old, that was massive. So Clemente,
Oh, I thought you just realized that last year.
yeah.
Well,
Because-
I think yes, and I know we keep talking about guys that we saw growing up, but they do appear in many cases to be the face of the franchise, and people Clemente was the guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I like Terry's pick of Stargell, because Stargell kind of
Yeah.
took up the slack when Clemente passed away, and he became
Mhm.
the guy in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All right.
They've had a lot of great veteran players.
Yeah. So now, present day Pirates, not a good team, but I would argue they have an obvious choice as the face of the team.
Yeah, you already mentioned him, right?
No,
I don't believe
I
he
didn't.
did.
Cruz.
I
O'Neal
didn't.
Cruz.
I'm not going to say him.
You're
I
not
mean,
gonna say
when
O'Neal
your
Cruz?
baseball card, when your rookie card sells for over $1 million, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Oh,
Paul
it's
Skeens
Yeah.
is the pitcher that everybody wants to see now. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's electric. Even when he's bad, he's good.
Yeah.
And he any game that he starts, he keeps the team in the game.
Yeah.
He may only win 12 games this year because the Pirates are so bad, but he's fun to watch. So he's my
How about
present day guy.
How about the guy who did a little bit of time with the Giants?
I thought
Andrew
we weren't going to
McCutcheon.
talk about my record.
Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah.
You could definitely make the argument on McCutcheon for
He was.
Yeah.
everything
Oh
he's
man!
done for
And
the
what
city.
a great guy in the city. In public too.
Yep.
Mhm.
In both cities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like McCutcheon.
Yep. Kutch is a good guy. Yep.
All right. You guys, it's Skeens and O'Neal and McCutcheon. Anything else? Yeah, I think yeah. So no backup catchers. All right, great.
No,
All right.
no Joey Barts.
All right, let's finish up the National League East, and we're going to
Central,
talk about
right? Central.
what's that?
That was a
Central?
central that we were just doing.
I'm sorry, the National League Central.
Yes.
We'll do the St. Louis Cardinals,
Oh, yeah.
very, very storied franchise,
Yep.
been around for decades. Again, there's many people who could be the face of this team, but who comes up when you think St. Louis Cardinals? Tara, what do you got?
Well, Stan Musial, of course.
Yeah,
But
that's a pretty good
I'll
one.
leave it at that and leave some more players open. Stan Musial.
All right,
He played
Chuck?
22 seasons with the Cardinals. He really, they still love him there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Daily.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, if in that era, if you're alive during when he played, they still think he's the best player around ever.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah.
How about
All
you?
right. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, I would give some thought to Bob Gibson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that would be a good thing to do, because if you don't, he'll beat you up.
He'll drill
Yeah,
you.
that's right. He'll kick my ass if I didn't mention his name.
If you don't bring him up, he's going to be waiting for you at the pearly gates, and he's going to hit you in the ribs with a fastball.
There's still another one though, and I bet you Robbie will come up with that one.
All right, Robbie.
Are you thinking of Rogers Hornsby?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't.
You are.
I'm wearing his damn shirt. It's damn usual. Again, Gibson's great. He's a rock solid number 2. Musial is the guy. It's Ernie Banks is the Cubs. Musial is this guy. Willie's the Giants. It's Musial. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have yet another candidate for the face of the Cardinals.
It's going to be Lou Brock because he was a Cub, huh?
No, it's going to be Lou Brock because he changed the game of baseball.
Fair enough.
He made the stolen base a huge weapon. And other teams just copied that because it was just something they hadn't seen before.
And he has a statue behind
Yep.
home plate.
Yeah. So obviously the Cardinals think he's face of a team as well. All right. Now, today, the Cardinals are coming to town. How do they market the Cardinals to the fans? Who's the face of the St. Louis Cardinals?
Yeah, we're the team that had Stan Musial.
Now, it could be argued that the Cardinals are on a bit of a downturn, but they do still have a couple of superstars on that team.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado. I already mentioned him.
Nolan Arenado would be somebody that they would put forward as, hey, you can come and see Nolan.
Contreras.
I was thinking Sonny Gray.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn would be your young star that's coming up and it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got one of these, except it's dark.
I would love it to be Lars Nootbaar just because of the name. But
yes,
Newt Bar.
Yeah,
It
Newt
sounds
Bar.
like a candy bar. A Lars Newt Bar.
and they're missing an opportunity to not have a place called the Newt Bar next to the ballpark. It's open
Lars.
late after games. Swing on by the Newt Bar.
All right, let's take a short break, and I'll tell you a little bit about a show coming up on Mic'd Up tomorrow. Inside Cal Baseball is going to do their first interview show with Jaron Advincula, All-American candidate on the Cal Bears baseball team. If you would like to get in a question or a comment for Jaron, the show will be at 4:30 tomorrow right here on Mic'd Up. The hosts will be Jim Darby and Kyle McRae, the Cal Bears sports information director. So this is your chance to get your questions answered by a potential All-American. So go for it. Again, if you want to leave your comments for us, hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen, and you've got 30 seconds to leave us a comment. All right, guys.
Tell me how this. I have my friend Dr. Dave. He's trying to leave us a message. He says he's not able to get through. He's not sure how to send it. So you.
All right, so I'll say again, hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen, and then a counter starts on the screen. That's when you talk.
And you
got 30 seconds as it counts down. When it's done, when you're done, you hit send it to us. You also have the choice of re-recording if you don't like what you said.
You can review it.
Yeah.
Before you send it, if you don't get it all in.
Yep.
Send it, and then you'll see other people. They will press the red microphone again.
Yep.
And send the rest of their choices. So, Dr. Dave, if you're listening, that's how it works. Oh,
there it is. He's got it.
Dr. Dave.
He's got it.
I had to go through this with John Cusack.
Dr. Dave's in the house.
Dr. Dave
in the house.
Okay.
But he wasted part of his 30 seconds telling us that he had tried 4 times to get this to work.
So should we play it? Yeah.
Well, we got to play it.
I've tried that 4 times now, and I don't seem to be able to get through. So I'm trying it once again.
It's not working. He's
Hard-
right.
hard to
Do I
believe.
have to hit anything special to send?
All right.
Hard to believe that guy went to med school, huh?
Dr. Dave, it actually worked. It went through. So send us another message with your pick.
Please, Dr. Dave. I apologize for Robbie being so crude and disrespectful. Please send us another question.
Hey, I was being
like
crass,
JC at first.
not crude. There's a big difference.
All right. We are going to finish up.
Dr. Dave, and thanks for viewing.
Yep. We are going to finish up with the National League East, and we're hitting our timer on our show, so let's go through this relatively fast. We are going to talk now about the Atlanta Braves, who were also the Milwaukee Braves and also the Boston Braves. So we've got a very much storied history of the Braves. Who is your all-time face of the Braves? Terry.
See, I have to. All right, Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
I have to narrow it down. I have Hank Aaron.
Yes. I think that would be a pretty fair choice. Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
How did it take you 30 seconds to arrive at that?
Because I was looking for Braves, and it's in here by city, so
Yep.
it's not under Milwaukee, and it's not under it, so it's under Atlanta.
All right.
At the top of my alphabetical
All right.
list.
All right. Robbie, I assume you also had Hank Aaron?
Yeah, none of us are going to argue, right?
Yeah.
Total
Yeah.
agreement. Total
And
agreement.
Hank also might be the face of the Milwaukee Braves too. So yeah.
And the Boston Braves, for that matter.
Yeah. So now today, when you think of the Atlanta Braves, who's the guy that gets marketed the most? Who's the man?
Austin Riley.
Austin Riley's a good pick.
I like third baseman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Robbie?
I would go with Chuck with Austin Riley because I think the real answer is Ronald Acuna Jr., but he's missed most of every season for the last 3 years. So it's hard to say he's the face of the franchise when he's not on the field. So
Right.
Austin Riley's out there every day.
Chair?
Yeah.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
This is not a great list. They don't have a lot of superstars as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
I think I'm going to take him because he's the only 40-70 guy in the history of baseball. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. That's something.
Angel Perdomo, he's pretty popular.
Yeah, pretty popular.
Who?
Perdomo. Angel
Perdomo.
Angel Perdomo is a left-handed reliever who's in the minors, so I don't think you're talking about him.
Oh, well, that goes back to your trivia question: left-handed pitchers.
All right, let's go on to the expansion Florida/Miami Marlins, who came into the league in 1993. When you think Marlins, who is the face of the Florida Marlins or the Miami Marlins? Who do you think of? And I know that from the blank stares, you're thinking of nobody.
I'm thinking of somebody for sure.
I got somebody.
All right, Chuck, what do you got?
Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo.
Mike?
Yeah, at the time he was Mike Stanton, but yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Dave.
Yeah, that's who I got.
Stanton
That dude can hit. Oh, sorry.
would be the obvious choice, holds the most records for the Marlins.
He's absolutely right. You know, there was never a player on the Marlins like Mike Stanton at the time. And then he goes to New York and changes his name. So, Robbie, is that who you pick?
I just to be, different. Jeff Conine. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
How about Miguel Cabrera?
Yes, Miguel Cabrera, the 20-year-old that ruined my Chicago Cubs' chances of going to the World Series. Yeah, let's pick that guy.
I think that was Gonzalez, your shortstop.
Well, now today, the Marlins are not a very good team. But who do you think of? Who do they market when they come into town? Robbie, what do you got?
Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah, a Cy Young Award winner. That's not bad.
Yeah, that kind of helps.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good pitcher. So.
Mm-hmm. Chuck, do you know any Marlins?
I agree with that one.
All right, cool.
I'm looking at every player's name. I don't recognize a single one.
You don't recognize Eric Wagaman,
Randy Edelman.
Kyle Stowers,
Dane Myers.
Jesus Sanchez?
No.
Xavier Edwards.
Xavier
He's the
Edwards?
start of that team. All right, let's move on since
think they're
that one is not interesting at all.
Not at all.
Are they most famous for when they somebody hits a home run?
Yes, they put on a fireworks
the
show.
swordfish?
Connor
We got
Norby.
3 teams to go, and then we got our comments, so we are way behind time.
Okay.
New York Mets, expansion team from 1962. Won a few World Series titles. Who do you think of when you think New York Mets? There.
Mike Piazza.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Chuck?
one of the more obvious players, I think.
Chuck, what do you got?
I got Tom Seaver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Robbie?
As much as I want to say Choo Choo Coleman, it's Tom Terrific.
Yeah, I think it's I think Tom Seaver is the guy that put the Mets on the map. So he's the guy. All right, now today, who's being marketed to us as the face of the New York Mets today?
We got a great comment from JC.
Yeah.
I know we're on time, but come on.
Marv Thornberry.
Or Marv Throneberry.
Anyway.
All right. We are moving on. Let's see. We want the face of the Mets today. I think.
Gotta go with Lindor, right?
What's that?
You got to go with Lindor.
I actually am not going to go with Lindor, but
No?
I understand your argument.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Mets are trying to tell us who the face of the team is going to be for the next decade. Juan Soto.
Yeah.
So that's the guy they're going to market. Yeah.
But I think the fans want Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Tara, who do you think?
I have nobody for the Mets.
Oh.
Just say David Peterson.
David Peterson.
Hey, good choice. Great choice.
Who was the pitcher for the Mets that looked like Thor? I don't think he's with them anymore.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Syndergaard's been out of the big leagues for about 5 years, but yeah, okay.
I'm going to New York City in June at the end of our trip, and
all right.
I'm gonna
so then you can
go
come
to
up with a pick.
I might come up with a pick after I've been there.
All right, good.
Looks
all right,
like Thor, pitched like Loki.
Philadelphia Phillies, another storied franchise. It's been around for many, 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 many years. Who is the face of the Phillies? The guy you think of when the Phillies come to town, or not come to town, when you think of the Phillies and their storied history? I'll start. I think it's Mike Schmidt. I'm going to go with Schmidt being the guy that kind of started with that team, ended with that team. They were terrible when he started with them, and he made them a contender every year. He kind of
that's who I have too.
Big power.
And another third baseman.
Yeah. So Chuck, are you saying that that's your pick as well?
Yep.
All right.
Chuck,
Robbie?
in the next show, you better say Brooks Robinson.
I think it was probably Richie Ashburn for years until Schmidt came along.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as much as I wanted it to be Granny Hamner, it's Mike Schmidt.
There could be an argument that Jim Bunning was in there. Maybe a little Steve Carlton.
Dick Allen, but no, it's Schmidt, period.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now we got a tough one. We're going to finish up. Oh, wait. Let's do a face of the Phillies today. Robbie, who do you think of when you think Phillies today?
Boy, I don't like him, but it's Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carl Schwarber's up there too.
Yeah, Schwarber's good. Yep.
I've got a sidebar here. I've got a sidebar. Robbie, when we talked about the Pirates and the Boston Braves and the Cardinals, why didn't Robert Moranville come up?
Rabbit Moranville?
Rabbit Moranville.
Yeah, I'm saving him for his American League tenure.
Okay, well, all right. We did talk about the Braves.
All right.
It's
enough time on your sidebar. We have to go
I
back
kind of
to the
spaced on
show.
it. I was going to give you the business for not mentioning him.
All right.
Time is not an absolute for Terry.
Yes. So, Tara, do you have a Philly of today?
No Phillies.
No Philly of today. Okay. I think it's got to be Harper. That's who the media pushes.
Yeah, Bryce Harper, man, you love to hate him.
Yep.
Oh, Trey
All
Turner.
right. Let's finish up, and then we got a ton of comments to get through, and we got to be done no later than 15 minutes from now. So we've got the Montreal Expos / Washington Nationals. Who is the face of that dual franchise there? What do you think of when you think of the Expos back in the day? I'll start. The guy that the Expos marketed in the early days, because everybody loved him, was Rusty Staub.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His red hair.
Really?
Legrand
What about Gary
Orange.
Carter?
Yeah. Yep.
What about Gary Carter, the catcher?
Gary Carter is a great choice. Great
Yeah.
choice.
The right choice.
Yeah. Andre Dawson's a good choice. Tim
Yeah,
Raines is a good choice.
I
Yeah.
have Andre Dawson.
Pepe Frias.
No, not Pepe Frias.
In the more modern era, how about Bryce Harper?
As a national.
As a national, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
The
Okay.
face,
Wasn't
the
he a
face of the
national?
Nationals?
Wasn't he?
I
Yeah, he
would
was a
say
national.
that at the
Yeah,
time
he was a national.
he was the face of the Nationals. Yeah. But what about today's national that don't have Strasburg? Who's the face of that team? Who gets marketed when they come to town?
Oddly enough, I think they have a pretty good solid core of young kids coming up.
Yep.
With Young and Dylan Cruz, a couple other guys that are coming up with them now, but their marketing is kind of starting to drift towards James Wood, the hot young rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, if you think it's got to be somebody that's been there a little while, Mackenzie Gore has been a great pitcher on a bad team for several years now.
Agreed.
How long has Abrams been their shortstop?
Yeah, Abrams is a good pick.
He's another good one too.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, let's get into our comments here because we've exhausted the National League, thank God. And Robbie, I don't know what order you want to play all this mess in, but give us a shot.
All right, I'm going to mix in some Dr. Dave and some JC and some Dr. Dave and some JC.
I want to nominate Johnny Mize.
Ooh, good pick.
As the Phillies' choice. Also, I think, no, never mind. Chuck Klein was with the Philadelphia Athletics.
Oh no, I think didn't Chuck Klein play for the Phillies?
Play for the Phillies, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good pick.
And Dr. Dave wants to correct something he was wronged on earlier.
I did not go to medical school. That is a stage name going back to my years on radio. And
like
as
Dr.
a
Don
DJ
Rhodes.
starting back in the early 70s in the discos.
All right.
Kind of, I really wanted, my backstory in my mind was Dr. Dave was Terry's urologist.
He never played for the Boston Braves. Aaron came up when they moved to Milwaukee.
That's correct.
Yes.
You might want to double check that one.
Aaron was a Milwaukee and Atlanta Brave. Babe Ruth was a Boston Brave.
Yeah.
At the end of his career. All right.
We're going to lump the Braves all together, Hank Aaron.
Yeah, Dr. Dave is from Boston. So
that's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Philly or National? Bryce Harper is just a big Richard. No doubt about it.
Change his name to Richard.
I even heard a laugh from the other room.
JC here. What a great topic this is. I was discussing it with Mr. Met, Scott Gormley, and he agreed that Tom Seaver would be the face of the franchise historically, and that Francisco Lindor would be the face of the franchise currently. More coming up.
So Scott Gormley is not a lowlife, but he is definitely lowlife adjacent.
Yeah.
JC back with another franchise. The Cincinnati Reds, historically the Big Red Machine, and Johnny Bench would be my choice for the face of the franchise. And right now, surprisingly, the new kid, Ellie De La Cruz, would be the face of the franchise of the Cincinnati Reds currently.
You could say if something were to happen with Ellie De La Cruz, Hunter Green is pretty electric too, as a pitcher.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
JC back, I couldn't leave you without my team and the pick for the San Francisco Giants. And I think historically there would be no argument that Willie Mays would be the face of the franchise from a historical perspective. And now I believe Buster Posey, the current president of baseball operations, is the face of the San Francisco Giants today.
That works.
I agree.
And John Cusack was supposed to call in, but I don't see it here. He was saying
Yeah.
Ernie Banks
Ernie Banks, yeah.
for the Cup. Yeah,
Yeah, and Eddie Vedder agrees with him. So yeah, it's
absolutely.
good.
And so does Benjamin Bratt.
Benjamin Bratt, right? Former Giants fantasy camper Benjamin Bratt. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Thank you for putting this together. We'll probably do something similar with the American League soon, and have an opinion. Everybody that's listening, have an opinion. Share it with us. And
No matter
we'll
how
argue
wrong
about
it is.
Yeah, we'll tell you how wrong it is. I mean, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with Terry's urologist. I mean, come on.
Hey, Terry, urologist is not a real doctor.
But he plays one on television.
Hey, thanks, Dr. Dave. We appreciate you participating,
Yeah,
and
it's
we
about
hope you
time,
tune in
Dave.
again. Yeah.
And thanks to Almanac, as always.
Peace out. One love.
Hey, Trill.
All right. Play us out, Robbie.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights.
I mean, the Mets really should have been choo-choo cold.